Welcome back. I don't got a cool intro song like I do for Chip's Lore, but we're a work in progress, and that's okay. And so today we're gonna look at everything and anything, and everything about it. And so, if you have heard the song, what makes it interesting is that, or making it, what made it interesting is there's one thing that is the crux of everything, and it's this. So, how do we make that go for almost 2.5 minutes and not get boring? Whether or not we accomplish that, don't know. But let's walk through it. So, obviously, like all the sessions you're going to see, unless I start doing like maybe like an Ableton or something where it's like a back in the demo stage, there isn't a whole lot going on. If you see here, like these are all the plugins, and like this is buses, these are plugins. Not hiding anything. And couple like verbs and whatever, like cool like effects. As you can see, the most effects here are for the end, like for the solo part. But it's just mostly like different delays and verbs. And so like theoretically, the production's pretty simple on this song. Just guitar, bass, drums, vocals. And the challenge of making it was, how do we take that one guitar part and make it like just continue to feel like it's growing? Like, how do you develop that into a chorus? Because right now, these are the verse guitars. Like, it's very like it's very chill. And so going into the chorus, we had this. So that's like kind of like a building element, like what we're playing. But what do you add to make that hit all of a sudden? And I think the best place to start is with more guitar. So I added like a much like crunchier version of that same guitar. And on top of that, you can see right here, there's this one nice guitar part. And what could this chaos be? It doesn't make sense. But with the other guitars, it kind of adds like a little bit of like driving energy. So now, like that, like going from section to section, it grows with the guitars. But it isn't enough. And for me, it was lacking like the root chordal structure. And so I added bass that like supported that. So it just feels that like these are just very simple basses. Like it just fills them out, right? Nothing very fancy about what's going on. But then there's this bass, which is used on another song. You're like, if you guys watch these videos, what you'll find hilarious is It basically used the same 3 bass sounds on every song. And if it ain't broke, you don't gotta fix it. But that just goes to a bus. Or actually, these don't go anywhere. These are just there. This is the most interesting bass part here. And that's just like I'm playing like an octave and it's just gliding up and down. So with the guitars, all of a sudden, alright, we're like starting to get somewhere, sure. But like, it still lacks like the driving energy. So, put the kick in. And that's really like the entire song. I mean, it's just like this song was specifically about developing parts that are additive, that get across what we're trying to do. Because by itself, like, this ain't shit. Like, this could be anything. You know, it could just be like, it legitimately could be go anywhere and be anything. But because of the way we it all this like weird momentum that isn't there if you just listen to this guitar part. And that comes mostly from the drums. And with the drum production, like, there isn't really anything insane on here. Like, it just took a lot of time, like, because on this record I had to program everything because I just did not have access to a drummer or the financial support to get a drummer. But programming it, the hardest challenge was trying to find how to make things feel real. And as you can see here, there's a delay, a verb, and another delay. And what these are is, this one's a quarter note. This is just a verb with a bunch of pre-delay. All the verbs on this song, by the way, have a lot of pre-delay because I felt like doing it made it have more, like, it made it feel like it was like done in like a room or whatever, like, and had room mic. So it just like kind of like gave it a better feel. And then this is just like it's stretched out, so I don't know if you can see, but a quarter note and an eighth note delay. It's like a dual. So it's basically like doing this kind of thing, like ping pong kind of. But let's look at these elements real quick, because this is all for like the cymbals and like the hi-hat, because it's like, again, it's like when you use samples, it's like, or not like not like samples like sampled song or whatever. It's like these are just like recorded ride and they have its own vibe, but like you need to you need to try. It's like the hardest thing is rides and cymbals and everything and crashes to get it to feel like it's not just like you hit a pad on Ableton and it just is like boom, 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 like you just to give it some life. And so these are the cymbals, right? Now if I take all this stuff out, I mean, still sounds similar, but this, like, especially on the crashes, like, it just gives it some life. Yeah? Hi, Goose.
Are you working?
Yeah, I'm trying to record this thing.
Because Tom wants you to make him alcohol.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that in a sec.
Well, just finish doing it.
And I have to make Tom alcohol. But and this 808 is just to support the low end. Like, it's not doing anything crazy. This is just so god awful. Let's see if am I like going like ham on the compression here. Feels like I might have So now like we have a song, because if like and really like even though this whole song is that guitar, in a way the drums were the most important thing in this entire project, because it kind of determines like how you are feeling. Like it's chill here. It's super chill. And now it starts to build up. And now we're like it's in a different space, it's in a different feel, and that's what I love like about making music, honestly, is it's like that's so like this whole transition is like it seems like a nothing thing, like it's just, oh, it's just the drums, they're doing the drum stuff, but like the reality is without it, like this song doesn't grow.
Anything you know about everything. Find,
Like it's still
found
like
what's
to me, this just
mine.
feels like it's still another show.
Feels like I might have time.
But it doesn't have
Tag along.
And let's look at real quick before, because like this song is really, there's not a whole lot to it, honestly, but and we wanted that, we wanted this song to be like a break from just how chaotic some of our upcoming songs are, and this is just like verse chorus outro. And I mean there's nothing really nuts on the vocals, like just on the second verse I'd put a decapitator on them just to give them a little bit more like punch. And I left these things here, like the pro Q and the decapitator, I leave these for Craig, and Craig probably changes everything. But that's okay because it sounds really good. But essentially, like, I just leave the things that he may want to tweak, like the Echo Boys and Valhalla, and like Valhalla and Echo Boy. It's all you need, you know. If you got limited funding and you need to like want a cool verb and a cool delay, like those two things are the most versatile things I've ever had. And if you want to spend some money, get that Baby Audio, because Baby Audio is sick. And I'm not sponsored by any of them. They're not paying me to say that yet. And I hope if you guys see this, sponsor me, because I like your stuff. But anyways, I digress. I don't know, like, I need some feedback. Maybe, you know what? I think I'm going to do the next one. I think I want to do it live, like on Twitch. And it's going to be like challenging because I can't like stop the video and like restart if I'm like kind of being dumb. But I think it'd just be better, because if I even have like one or two people there who are like asking me like, hey, I see that thing, like what is that? Talk about that. That it's like gives me a lane to go to, because like right now I'm just kind of like spitballing. But anyways, we'll figure it out. I think it'd be fun though, like especially if like we can figure like have a community and like can develop a community where it becomes like a fun event to do like the week after a release. Like it'd be awesome, honestly. But anyways, let's just look at the vocals really fast. You know, I basically sang the lead, sang a double, and
As you are, and anything you know
and
about
that, all that's on there is just
everything.
a super. Oh, sorry, it's just a trippy delay. And I sang a harmony on top of that to give it more on the second line, just to give it a little bit more of like, you know, body, whatever.
As you are,
It just makes it sound sweeter. And Emma sang a very sweet part on top of it.
everything there is to know
It just sounds
about
like
anything.
it's like so like pure to me, like what she's saying.
Anything you know about about everything.
Or like silly tongue twister. I mean, like to this day, we still have to remind ourselves like what the name of the song is. Because it's just like we're like, wait, is it anything and everything anything? Anyways, then we get to the chorus.
Fine.
She just sang a double to just
Found
make it
what's
thick,
mine.
and I sang the same part.
Feels like I might have.
I'm sure you guys want to hear this really my super high pitch.
Found what's mine. Feels like I might have time.
And I sang a low
Feels like I might have time. Tag along.
But I mean, super basic. Like it's just two parts. Like everything in the song is just two parts. And what's like fun about it is that it's like, I guess like in the songwriting sense, it's like it's that juxtaposition of like you got this super hard driving like rock song, but then we're singing like this like kind of like, you know, like schoolyardy. Like it's just like seems like very young vocal. Like I don't know, like we're trying to be like very sweet with it and pure. And the only thing we changed in the second chorus is we add the harmony, which by itself sounds whack. Like everything in this song by itself sounds just weird. But when you glue it all together, it becomes like good. Well, okay, operative word. We think it's good.
Tag
Like
along.
it's like it like is it good? And then you put in her other vocals, and you're like,
Tag along.
and it's like fuck yeah, it's good. And same with mine. Like mine is like, but like by itself,
Tag along.
it's like, is that good?
Tag along.
It like builds out like the chord like fills it out.
Tag along. Lonely is life alone.
I can't remember on this song. I must have, but if you guys don't know about this, this is a pretty key thing for it. It really depends on the sound that you're going for. Like this to me, like I wanted it to be very tight. And like you can sing it very close, but it won't ever be like perfect. And not that I never ever set anything to the perfect mode. But oh shoot, I don't have it on this computer. Synchro arts, vocal line. It's key. It's like if you have like again, I never put it to like 0, which is like 0 difference. But if you have like a bunch of background vocals or like, you know, you're singing, a good example will be like when I do the thing for Give and Take, we have a lot of vocals in it and they're singing like making chords and all these things. And when you use vocal line, you are getting them lined up with each other, but you're also like changing like when people get on and off. Like, so it just helps with like dynamically to, if you want a certain sound, it's amazing. And that's the whole song. And the only thing that changes is when we get to the outro, because basically we had the entire song up into the outro, and we were like, how do we end it? And you know, I experimented with so many different things, and I don't know, maybe people are interested. I can like find some of them and hear what kind of this tragedy I made. But I just felt like at this point of the song,
Tag along.
I needed something fresh. And that's a synth. Going to this delay. and a verb. Make it super lush. Like if I take them out. Gives it that sweetness, you know? We love sweetness. And that part, like, I can play the whole thing if you guys want, but like, like, when you're songwriting, it's so important to just like not be like, okay, I'm gonna just play this one guitar part and just the same way every single time, and you hear it 20 times in the song. Like, it's about like creating nuances and changes in what you're playing. And a good example of that is like the guitar that I put in the chorus. It's like it's not tuned down to C like the first guitar was, but I'm also changing what I'm playing because it now adds like another nuance to it. Like that part. It just adds the nuance. And I remember when I like, we didn't have the vocals, but when I played that guitar part, I like, it was random. I just randomly decided when I did that. And in the verse you hear it a lot. Like,
There's no need to convince yourself. You'll try to change the direction. Only time will reveal itself. It won't be easy, never easy. High time.
you know, it just like creates like a little variety. But the same with the synth. Like, I remember like when I played it, every time I went to the next, like, back in the loop of what the chords are, I changed how I played it. And it just makes it more interesting to play, but also for the listener, because even if you can't hear like those small differences, when you're listening to the song, you just feel it, and it's huge. It's everything. And so like literally all the song is here is just the drums that we had, and I just changed the bass sounds a little bit. Like if we played like these are the same sounds, but I changed them slightly. So basically all that is happening is a bass shift. I have like this bass shift thing, and it's micro shift sound toys. It's amazing. And like it goes into that because again, it's like it's the same thing in its nature, but it's slightly different sounding to get away from where we were. And it gives it that like wideness, you know. But the other thing that we did was I took LFO. I put an LFO on these basses. I mean, it's just like to me, it's a beautiful part because you go from like that hard-hitting rock. Let me just mute all these guitars for a sec. And I know I put these crazy fucking guitars at the end, but like the nature, like the broad stroke nature of it is what's like really like what is appealing to such a simple like thought, like, hey, now the bass sound has that wobble to it, but like, why does that matter? Because now it doesn't feel as stiff. Like, it's not like that rock stiff thing anymore that this was. Because I had this similar sound, like just with the different notes, and it just didn't. It felt too tight. And let's. Oh yeah, this is the coolest thing I did on this song. Besides that synth, it's this part. Just like a heavy guitar. And it comes in halfway through the outro, but basically the whole point of it is to reinforce what's happening with the synth. It gives it like another little boost. Say, but then there's these octave guitars. And what the solo is I double all my solos because I find that it creates, or not, okay, I don't double all of them, but like ones like this one, and the one on the song you're gonna hear next week, yay! On their Song to It All, I double them because it just, for the sound that I wanted, it just makes it have a cooler vibe. And so all this guitar solo is me on a like octave shifter, and I'm just like hitting it on the second half of the solo. And this is all effects. Like, it sounds pretty tough, but with Spaced Out, I got two things going, and it just makes it insane sounding. So here's the first one. Almost like another double. And then this one is like just, it's got the pan man going too, so it's just like totally like just sending everything into oblivion. Here's so this one. But it's just about giving it the space, like giving it a vibe. That's all the song was. This entire song. That's all it is. That's all this song is about, taking a basic idea and adapting it and creating a vibe and a space and a just nuts thing. Like the outro is like is in a way is like so out of left field. Like I would have never song. Like I never had this in mind, but it just felt like it supported what the vision was. And the vision is that life is better with other people in it. And if there's anything that you guys learn from our songs or us doing these things, it's like the tech stuff is the tech stuff. Us nerds, we love it. But what life is just better when you got people in it with you. And that's what this song is about. And it's the journey of it, of this is just like a driving rock song that just feels good, but the context is loving yourself and supporting your friends and finding out who you are and togetherness, and life is lonely. Lonely is life alone. Does it make sense? I don't know, but it feels good. Thank you all for being here. We got a new song next week, and it's a fucking good one. Okay.
Know when to feel, I don't feel, I don't feel, I don't feel.